What up, Bears fans? It is mailbag time. I am Harrison Graham. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get your questions on the show. For those who Super Chat, we will start with your questions first. So make that happen if you wish to do so. From the Grinch, the Bears need to go offensive tackle in the first round. There is so much defensive line depth in rounds 2 and 3. Not a ton of O-line depth. Trade down, get an additional second, then draft Darnell Wright with the first. I do like the trade down and draft Darnell Wright idea if it works out that way. There's been a lot of chatter if you trade with Pittsburgh, for example, 9 for 17 and 32, take Wright at 17, and then go from there. I'm in for that because I think Darnell Wright is a plug-and-play right tackle and would do it at a pretty high level. So, and by the way, his name's Darnell Wright for a reason. He's going to play right tackle. So I'm a big fan of that idea. Nicholas Ritchie, if we trade down to 17, would Kancey or Broderick Jones be the better pick for Chicago? I think Broderick Jones would be the better pick. I like Kancey, but I just don't know where he plays. I think he's probably a better 3-4 defensive end than he is a 4-3 3-tech / DN, but I like him. He's talented. He's undersized, but he definitely looks the part. I like Kancey. I just don't know where the Bears would play him and how they view him, so I'd probably go Broderick Jones in that scenario. Walter Besky, Myles Murphy seems to have fallen off people's radar recently. Would you be comfortable with him at number 9 if the other options are off the board like Wilson, Carter, etc.? I think 9's a little rich for Murphy. I like Myles Murphy, but his pass rush arsenal is limited right now. He needs to improve with his pass rush moves. He's a great run defender and a premier athlete. And I'll probably do a video on this, trade down draft targets. He is another one of those. Like Darnell Wright, Myles Murphy. I like these guys, but in the top 10, I would rather trade down and get one of those guys like in the 15 to 20 range, and I think that is proper range for those two players specifically. If you guys want a fan-led mock draft before the NFL draft, we got to get to 65,000 subs. So hit that sub button. We're just over 300 away here on the channel. Spread the word if you want a fan-led mock where you guys make all the picks. We'll do it live. We'll have some fun. Subscribe to the channel. Let's make it happen. Bye-bye, Aaron. Should the Bears draft one of the top tight ends? I think it's possible. Obviously, you got Cole Kmet, who could get a contract extension. We know Ryan Poles likes him. You signed, Robert Tonyan, thank you, to a deal as well. So you've got a decent little tight end room. But this is also a really good tight end draft. I mean, these 5 guys are all really good players. Dalton Kincaid, stud. And I like the idea of Kincaid because Kmet can be more of that blocking, still a receiving threat, but a heavier blocker. Kincaid's more of a receiving tight end. Michael Mayer is a complete tight end. Darnell Washington is so damn good as a blocker, and he would be a great red zone option as well. I already see QB power with Justin Fields, with Washington leading the way as a blocker. I mean, that would be fantastic. Sam Laporta out of Iowa is a good player. Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State. I mean, this is a good tight end draft, so I would not be opposed to taking one with one of those 53, 61, or 64th picks, depending on who's available. Now, should the Bears draft a tight end early? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comments section below. William Bomer, draft Cody Mauch in the second round. I believe he's a steal, and he would make a pretty good right tackle. Yeah, I think he could play right. He's got short arms. He's kind of just like a poor man Skoronski, to be honest. Played left tackle in college. In the NFL, I think he's either a right tackle or a guard. But I think in round 2, round 3, that's perfectly fine for Cody Mauch. If you don't go O-line in the first, I think he would be kind of grouped together with a list of a few guys that you could take in the second or third. Another William Brock. What are the Bears going to do with Cody Whitehair? I think it depends how the draft goes. If they don't draft a center, I think he'll be on this team. Him and Lucas Patrick will be the centers. They'll probably compete and let the best man win. Both those guys have guard flexibility as well, so they'd have value. If the Bears do draft a center, then they'll probably keep one of Whitehair or Patrick and cut the other one. That would be my guess. So I think it depends on what happens here in the draft. What if they draft John Michael Schmitz? Well, then cutting Cody Whitehair as the post-June 1 cut candidate to save over $9 million probably going to be the route for Chicago. Alex Weddle, the thought of the Bears going center at 9 or corner at 9 is really growing on me. There's some good corners at the top of this draft, man. Gonzalez, Witherspoon. I'm open to it. Look, trust your big board, Ryan Poles. If corner is the best player available at 9, take him. That's perfectly fine. You are in a position where you're the Bears. You just need blue chip players. Follow your board. Don't reach, especially early on in this draft. Shout out to Fume for sponsoring today's show. Fume going to help kick your bad habits. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative and award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Scan the QR code on screen right now to learn more. Fume is about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of a vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious, all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate that stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, I'll be honest, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason why you can't be next. Start your journey toward a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That is tryfum.com/chatsports and code chatsports for 10% off. Really easy to use product. You can twiddle with it. Good flavors. It comes in this nice box as well. You can bring it with you when you're traveling, etc. Tryfume.com/chatsports, code chatsports for 10% off. Let's go to Levante Rogers. If C.J. Stroud and or Will Levis falls to our pick at 9, do you predict the Bears trading out of the pick and getting a first from a team plus another picks and players? I don't know about picks, but if one of the top 4 quarterbacks is available at 9, you got to think it increases the chances of the Bears trading down because there's probably a team out there that'll overpay to move up. That's just the reality of trading up to get a quarterback. So, yeah, if that report out there is true that the run on QBs could come a little bit later, then I think that benefits Chicago. From Nicholas Selvey, the Bears could trade up in the second to get the Northwestern defensive tackle. Adetomiwa Adebawore, potentially. Some people think he could go round 1, but let's say he gets out of the first round. Maybe he's a player the Bears really like, and, well, you have 53, 61, 64. You've got ammunition to go up and move up to, mid-late 30s if he's still sitting there. So that could certainly be an option for Ryan Poles. From Chad Little, if we traded with Pittsburgh and received picks 17 and 32, do you think Wright in 17 and Schmitz at 32 is a good idea? Potentially. I would probably want to go defense with that second pick, but again, it's a big board question, right? If John Michael Schmitz is the best player available at 32, then yeah, taking him makes sense there. So I think it all depends on who's available, what the board looks like for Poles and his staff. But look, if they came out of this draft with Wright at 17 and Schmitz at 32, I wouldn't be upset because that's 2 guys that should be starting caliber offensive linemen for years to come. Johnny Lopez, Harrison, I really don't think Poles will draft an offensive lineman in the first round. I'm thinking defensive lineman or defensive back. What do you think? I think it depends on his big board. I don't have access to the big board. I don't think he'll reach at 9. I'm very confident in that. He hasn't done that. Like you know why he took Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker last year when the fan base was clamoring for a receiver? Because those are the guys who are at the top of his board. This is still a team that's rebuilding and needs just talent, period. You can't force the issue out of position in the first round if you are Chicago. You guys know the motto, type FGB, F Green Bay. F Green Bay. Get it popping in the comment section of today's show. Get those FGBs rolling. From Michael Ellis, wanted to know if Jalen Carter is off the boards. My personal opinion, we need to protect Justin Fields and we need to get Paris. I don't know if he's on or off their board. Again, I don't have access to their big board. I'm guessing he's not completely off it. He could be off it at number 9. I don't know. We know that the Bears have done a ton of homework. There's been kind of big rumors, some buzz recently that the Bears, if he's there at 9, would potentially take him. So it's hard to know what's true and what isn't right now. Bears keeping their cards close to their chest, as all teams do this time of year. Italian Stallion, thoughts on trading for DeForest Buckner? Look, I've been open to it from the start. I think the Colts would have to eat some of that contract potentially. Middle round pick, third, fourth. I don't think I'm trading 64, which is the Bears' only third round pick right now. But if they ended up getting a later one and a trade back, that could be an option. But trade your fourth round pick, 103 for Buckner. I'd probably do that. Chris Aldridge, did Bijan Robinson have a top 30 visit with the Bears? Need to double check. I don't know actually, but keep in mind, I don't think the Bears drafted a single player that came in on a top 30 last year. So it doesn't always mean they're going to draft that guy. Sometimes they're grabbing information about other players. Sometimes they're bringing in guys to eliminate them from consideration. They're like, we don't know, let's bring them in, and then they decide not to draft that player. So whether they did or didn't does not mean whether they'll draft that player or not. Justin Fields, who would you rather have, Paris or Jalen Carter if he's there? If I knew Jalen Carter would keep his head on straight, like if I had no doubts, I think he's a clear better prospect. And I like Paris Johnson, but I think Carter's clearly the better talent. That would be a Bears question. If they think he can come into their culture and fit right in and not be someone they have to worry about, then I would go Carter. If that's too big of a question mark, I'd go Paris Johnson because I think he's probably the safer pick in terms of that type of thing. Stephen Kennedy, do you think Poles should consider signing Budda Baker from the Cardinals? Well, you'd have to trade for him. I don't think so. You got Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker. I don't think Budda Baker is really even a fit. Like, he would probably be your best safety if you got him, but you have two starting caliber safeties. Like, safety is one position you don't really need. So I don't think trading an asset to go get one really makes sense at all. If you missed your questions being answered, well, hit me up on social media. I still have a lot of DMs to catch up from being out with the baby coming, but we'll catch up on some of those DMs soon. At HGramNFL on Instagram, at HGramNFL on Twitter. Follow me over there. Hit me up in the DMs. We will make it happen here on social media, so go ahead and give me a follow.